it's very different compared to the other accommodations that are available throughout the resorts in Walt Disney World, but we really like it. Despite the small footprint, there's plenty of space for two people. It only sleeps two people.
It's got a huge bathroom.
It's
got a balcony, and pretty much every view on the balcony is going to be good. If you're on, say, the third floor or higher, you're going to get a good view of EPCOT, so you're going to be able to watch the nighttime shows over at EPCOT.
I think you need to be on the fifth floor.
Okay.
We were on the fourth floor, and I couldn't see.
We were
the
blocked
fireworks.
a little bit by a palm tree, so okay, that's fair to say. But you're still going to be able to see Spaceship Earth,
right?
From these tower studios. They're going to be on the cheaper side. We own DVC, but you're going to be able to get in there for $300, $400, $500, which is actually a pretty good deal for what that location is. You're a Skyliner right away from both Hollywood Studios and Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
Great food options, arguably the best food on Disney property.
Agreed.
It's very quiet. It's very chill. We'll get into that momentarily.
Welcome, travelers, to Elevated Escapes, a luxury travel podcast hosted by Mike and Kristen Their, a husband and wife team who approach adventures from different perspectives. Mike is all about world-class golf and the best that Disney has to offer, while Kristen's seeking wellness retreats and rich historical and cultural experiences. Together, they're big on high-end cruises, unforgettable destinations, and discovering incredible culinary moments. Join them as they explore the world, one elevated escape at a time. Now, your hosts.
Welcome to episode number 19 of the Elevated Escapes podcast, being recorded in sunny Sarasota, Florida. I'm your host, Mike, joined by my wife and co-host, Kristen. Good evening, Kristen.
Good evening, Michael.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
We've got some things going on, so we're going to have to pre-record, get a couple of podcasts in the hopper, so to speak.
Yeah, in the can.
In the can. I have a different definition of a can, but it's neither here nor there. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk a little Disney this evening, so
we are.
Shall we take a break and get right into it?
Sure.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Kristen of Luxury Travel Advisors, a husband and wife team.
Dreaming of your next unforgettable getaway? Let us turn those dreams into reality. From magical Disney vacations and luxury cruises to all-inclusive escapes, world-class golf retreats,
and once-in-a-lifetime adventures, we handle every detail so you can simply enjoy the journey. Personalized service, expert planning, and stress-free travel from start to finish. Your next escape starts here.
Contact us today and let your extraordinary vacations begin. All right, we are back from break. Episode number 19 of the Elevated Escapes podcast. Susie's joining me in studio, and we're going to talk little quick 2-day or a 2-night, 3-day. Would you call it a staycation?
Sort of.
Sort of a staycation.
Yeah.
We're about an hour and 45 minutes from Disney. As you're well aware, we own Disney Vacation Club. We went up to spend a few days with my cousin and his family. We got, do you want to talk about our accommodations real quick?
Certainly.
Okay.
We stayed at the Riviera Resort in one of their tower studio rooms, which are unique. There are only 24 of them in the resort, and they are smaller than the average studio on property. There is one seating option in the room. It is a couch, and that couch pulls down into the bed. So it's very different compared to the other accommodations that are available throughout the resorts in Walt Disney World, but we really like it. Despite the small footprint, there's plenty of space for two people. It only sleeps two people.
It's got a huge bathroom.
It's
got a balcony, and pretty much every view on the balcony is going to be good if you're on, say, the third floor or higher. You're going to get a good view of EPCOT, so you're going to be able to watch the nighttime shows over at EPCOT.
I think you need to be on the 5th floor.
Okay.
We were on the 4th floor, and I couldn't see.
We were
the
blocked
fireworks.
a little bit by a palm tree, so okay, that's fair to say. But you're still going to be able to see Spaceship Earth,
right?
From these tower studios. They're going to be on the cheaper side. We own DVC, but you're going to be able to get in there for $300, $400, $500, which is actually a pretty good deal for what that location is. You're a Skyliner right away from both Hollywood Studios and Epcot.
Mhm.
Great food options, arguably the best food on Disney property.
Agreed.
It's very quiet. It's very chill. We'll get into that momentarily. But you have anything else you want to say about Riviera?
Nope, just that we really like it.
So we got up there around noonish or so, 11ish, noonish. We dropped our bags off at Riviera. I parked the car. We jumped on a bus and headed over to the Magic Kingdom because the crowd sizes at the Magic Kingdom were either a 1 or a 2. I believe it was a 2.
That sounds right.
Which is pretty much unheard of. July summer vacation used to be relatively busy with obviously everybody out of school at this point, especially the Northeast. That's when I used to go down quite often in July and August. But there were nobody at the parks.
But we have found over the last, I would say, 9 to 10 years that 4th of July weekend, for whatever reason, is usually quiet. I think it kind of picks up after that. But I think a lot of people, have their own traditions for the 4th at home or with their families, wherever they reside. I think it's a big weekend for family reunions and that sort of thing. So I think it kind of starts to pick up in the parks kind of now.
Yeah. They've been saying that it's slower because of the heat, but it's always been hot in Central Florida in the summer. This isn't a new phenomenon, but it was slow. We wanted to check out there a few things. My favorite attraction, the Carousel of Progress, was closing for a pretty lengthy refurbishment. I'm an OG Magic Kingdom guy, so I wanted to see the Carousel of Progress for one last time. But the first thing we did was we went over to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and checked out because they had just newly refurbished that ride. And they added some, I wouldn't say scenes, but they added some, what would you say? Not extras, but
they kind of spruced it up a little bit. They just did some painting and maybe changed some of the scenes around a little bit to give some different visuals.
But the ride track was fantastic.
It's so much better.
It was like a butter knife going through warm butter. It was so smooth. For those of you familiar with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, it's a herky-jerky ride. But I thought it was smooth, and you really thought it was smooth.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked the ride to begin with, but because I have some motion sensitivity, if I get jerked around too much, I get uncomfortable. And I don't think I've ever had motion sickness on that ride, but I'll get off sometimes and I'm like, ooh, that kind of tweaks something or doesn't feel great. And this just made the whole thing much more enjoyable for me.
So we did that, both thumbs up, and then we went over to Tiana's Bayou, which we're big fans of. That replaced a few years ago now Splash Mountain. So it is their, I don't want to call it a flume ride because it's still more of a dark ride.
It's the closest thing to a flume ride they have.
Yeah, so. But it's not what you would see at a fair or at a Six Flags. It's still a dark ride as far as I'm concerned. It's a flume. It goes down, but it's not one of those Six Flags where that's all you're getting.
True.
So we did that. We didn't get too wet. We both enjoyed that. That's another, what was that, about a 15-minute wait? So yeah, we jumped on that. Then what did we do? Then we wanted to go to the DVC lounge.
We did. So we went and put our name in. And as we were getting over there,
it started to pour.
It was
your typical mid-afternoon storm in Central Florida. So we waited out the storm, and then they said there were about 25 people ahead of us in line to get over into the DVC club. So we decided that, and they'll text you, let you know when your seat's ready. And they give you, typically, they said 10 minutes to get there, or respond if you're on a ride, just to tell them that you're running late. So we jumped over to, we did Pirates of the Caribbean.
We did.
And that was essentially a walk-on. It was a posted 5-minute wait. We pretty much walked on that. And then we went over to...
Did we eat and then do Haunted Mansion?
Yeah, we went over and got some lunch over at Columbia Harbor House. Now that is... It's park food restaurant. It's hit or miss.
It's kind of a controversial. I don't want to say controversial.
Yeah,
but
I know what you're saying. It is. Some people love it and some people hate it. We find it to be very inconsistent. It's a place that we go to if we are starving. We had a good meal. I had a lobster roll.
We did.
I got some clam chowder. You were in the mood for chicken fingers, so that's essentially why we headed over there.
Right. But they had some black garlic truffle fries that were really good. Then they also had a specialty dessert for the holiday. They called it Star Spangled Berry Shortcake. And
I took a couple bites of that, and that was fine.
So it was strawberry and blueberry. It was good.
It was good. I'd say, what would you give it? Maybe a 7 this time?
Yeah, I would say it was a solid 7.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It'll be years before I go back there. If you're at the Magic Kingdom, do yourself a favor. Just get out of the parks. Either go back to your resort or just take a boat over to the Grand Floridian. They have a fantastic quick service called Gasparilla Island Grille. A lot of times they have protein salads. You can choose between steak, chicken, and shrimp. Nice fresh salads.
Great
sandwiches, some flatbreads. So you can get a good meal there. You can walk from the Magic Kingdom over the Contemporary Resort, the Contempo Cafe, which is on the 4th floor of the Contemporary. They also have some great options. Or you could take the monorail or the boat back over to the Polynesian, go to Captain Cook's. There's some sit-down restaurants. So do yourself a favor if you're at the Magic Kingdom and you're looking for lunch. Just get out of the heat and go relax for an hour and a half. Recharge the batteries, get a good lunch, and then head back over to the Magic Kingdom. So as we are in the Magic Kingdom, we finished our lunch. Then we decided we were going to do the Haunted Mansion because we have not done that in a little while.
That's also undergoing refurbishment.
Yeah.
But the ride is still open. They're redoing the exterior.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but they did have all the facade hanging over the building. So yeah, they're redoing the exterior. So we did that, and then we headed over to Tomorrowland because I had to do my one last to pay my respects to our friends over at the Carousel of Progress, and it was packed. I posted on our social media that it was standing room only. It was, I mean, usually you can have a row to yourself, which we've had a lot of times.
There are times when we've been waiting and there have only been maybe 10 people.
10 people max. Pretty much pick out your row, extend your legs, take a nap if you want. But it was fantastic. People were into it. People were clapping. People were singing. It was, I think they had one more day and then they were going to close it down for the refurbishment. But like I said, that's my favorite attraction. I'm actually looking forward to what they have to offer because from what I understand, they're going to have a Walt Disney animatronic. The scenes are going to be updated. It is tired and old. It's an OG, which I love, but it's tired, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah. I mean, the last update they did, the last scene is talking about laser discs and high definition TV. So we've moved a bit beyond that now.
We have gotten past that. You are exactly right. Trying to think what else. Did we do anything? And then we went over to see if we could, because we never got our text to go into the DVC lounge. So we went over there and they wrote down our wrong number. Therefore, that's why we didn't get a text. 3 hours we thought was a little bit long to wait for.
Yeah.
At the time, it was 15 people in front of us. It was, they wrote down the wrong number. They said, we'll get you the next available seat. And we sat out there for 5 minutes, and then we got a seat, hung out, got some chips, some lemonade, some sodas. And then I think we called it a day, did we not?
We did.
Headed over to the bus. We went over to Riviera. We checked in. We did a room review, which will be available on our channel probably in the next few weeks or so. You can see that tower studio. Let us know if you think that's something that you would be interested in. Again, it's a great room for the price. The location's perfect. What did we do in the room? Did we watch any soccer?
No, I
World
think we
Cup was
went right
going on?
down to the pool, didn't we?
We may have went right down to the pool. We just wanted to do a hot tub. So we went down to their quote unquote quiet pool. For those of you new to Disney, a quiet pool is where they don't have the music. Usually they'll have in their main pool, they'll have dance parties and music and DJs, and they'll play trivia with the kids. It's fun if you have kids, but if you're a curmudgeon adult like myself, you want to go to what they call the quiet pool, where it's mainly adults and teenagers. So we just hung out in the hot tub for a while, made ourselves some friends, met some new people from Canada who were on vacation, Michigan. Hung out there for a while. Then you ended up getting quick service to bring back to the room at Primo Piatto, which we arguably is the best quick service on property. A lot of Italian flair. But they close at 10. So from 10 to 11, keep this in mind. They just, what do they have? Just
flatbreads,
yeah.
Grab and go stuff.
Grab and go. But during the day they have they have a good cheeseburger, but they have bolognese.
They have a great chicken sandwich, meatball sandwich. They have an Italian sandwich. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good.
So you went up to the room and ate. I hung out in the hot tub for a little while, and then I came back and we called it pretty much a night. We got up on Monday.
Yes.
And we got an early start because we had a breakfast reservation over at the Cake Bake Shop, which is over where Disney's Boardwalk Inn and Villas are, over near EPCOT. We had a breakfast there. You've been dying to go there.
I have. For those of you familiar with the Boardwalk area at Disney, it's where the ESPN club used to be. So it's a big space. I said while we were in there, it's a little girl's dream. I mean, it's all pink florals and chandeliers and whimsical characters, unicorns and Prince Charmings, and it's just really cool. The music was great. Lots of Broadway stuff, jazzy versions of like Beatles songs. The service was phenomenal.
Service was fantastic. Yeah.
The food was excellent, I thought.
Yep. I got a steak and eggs. And for those of you who found us via my Disney podcast, I am a steak and eggs connoisseur, whether it be Disney here in Lakewood Ranch Parish, Sarasota area. I love steak and eggs. This was a New York strip, and they sliced it up. And a New York strip, I like it because it has marbling, but it wasn't that chewy, grizzly, fatty steak that typically comes on the edges of a New York strip. The marbling was in between the pieces of meat, and it was buttery, tender, tasty. The eggs were cooked to perfection. I love it sunny side because I like to dip my toast. The yolks were runny, but the eggs were cooked perfectly. Hash browns were fantastic. They had what was the salad? An arugula salad. And the first bite I took, I told Susie, I said, when the arugula salad is good, you know that this is going to be a damn good breakfast. And it did. We got a side of fruit. The coffee was fresh.
Coffee was very good.
Coffee was fantastic. I got a grapefruit juice, So I can't talk highly enough about my breakfast over at the Cake Bake Shop. Okay, so what did you end up going with?
I went with the crab cake Benedict,
Okay.
and it was very, very good. They serve it on a croissant instead of an English muffin, which I loved. You didn't get quite as much of the bready, kind of heavy taste. Cut through it very easily. The egg was perfectly poached. The crab cake was phenomenal. It was almost all crab, very little filler.
You gave me
The
a piece
flavor
of that.
was great. My only complaint is that I thought the hollandaise was a little salty.
All right.
Which made it a little bit more overpowering than I would have preferred. But I had the breakfast potatoes with that as well, and they were very good. And it was big enough that I actually brought some home. So they do bring a carafe of water to the table as well, which I think is nice. You don't have to ask for it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's on the high. It's pricey, but it's good food. So I'm not. A lot of the people in the Disney community bellyache over the cost, and it's too expensive, and blah blah blah. It's good quality food. So if you're looking for a good breakfast, a good lunch, their lunch and dining menu look fantastic.
But they source all of their ingredients purposefully. I think the croissants actually made in-house or in their baking facility. They don't skimp on anything.
No, they don't.
And that's what you're paying for. So between the quality of the food and the quality of the service, again, I said while we were there, this isn't a place I would go every morning by any means. It's not necessarily a place I would go every trip.
You're right.
But I think once in a while, if you've got a little bit of time and you want a really great experience, it's well worth it.
They do a tea. I think, for the younger kids who want to do the castle, want to do the breakfast or the lunch or dinner at the Cinderella's castle, I think this would be a good alternative for older children. I think this is going to fit your 11 to 14-year-old daughter who might think that Cinderella's castle is just a little babyish for them. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. We saw some tables with kids. I mean, they did some kind of looked like a pink whipped cream on top of some hot chocolate. I mean, everything is served with sprinkles. There was a couple sitting at the table next to us. They were probably in their 20s, would you say? It was her birthday. And so when they made the reservation, I think they had stated that because there was a card on the table wishing her a happy birthday that she was able to take home with her. And then her server at the end pixie dusted her. Basically, they give you glitter and you put it on, they sprinkle it onto your hand and you kind of blow and then it goes all over you and you can rub it on your skin so you're sparkly all day. I think the couple on the other side of us were maybe celebrating something as well because they had some kind of a card too. So I think it's a nice special occasion restaurant. Again, I don't think it's the kind of place that you would want to go with a big group necessarily. But I thought it was very pretty. I thought it was very well done. And the food really speaks for itself.
I agree. So that was early. We had a 7:15. We ventured over to EPCOT. We walked through the back. They call it rope drop, which back in the day they used to hold a rope to hold people out, and they dropped the rope, and then we walked in. We wanted to do the new Soarin' because they changed it around for the 250th birthday of America. So they did all new scenes on Soarin'. And what was your first thoughts?
I thought it was great. I have heard mixed reviews. I really liked it.
Yeah, they started off at Cape Canaveral. They moved their way out west and then finished at EPCOT.
Actually, they moved out east first.
Okay, yeah, they went to Maine and then they worked their way out west.
but they hit some big cities, they hit some smaller areas. It just really showed the breadth of the different landscapes in the country and just how beautiful it is. So I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did a good job of interspersing, you know, some of the cities that people think of when they think about the U.S. when they're not from here, with some of the maybe not as well known locations.
Yeah, because they did a bayou. It looked like Wyoming or somewhere,
Montana or somewhere out there.
like on a dude cattle ranch. Some of the obvious, Los Angeles,
New York.
But it was good, and there was no wait time. It was 10 minutes, so it was so good that we went on it a second time.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we went on Living with the Land, which we love, and then we jumped on to Spaceship Earth,
Mm-hmm.
which we love, and then we got our free annual pass holders magnet, and then I think we called it a morning, and we headed back to Riviera, and I took a nap. We put TV on. I took a little nap. You kind of read, bartered around, and then we went back over to EPCOT to meet with my cousin, my goddaughter, and his family, because we had a 3:15 at Garden Grille, which is in that pavilion, the land pavilion, where Soarin' and Living with the Land was. They have, we had lunch over there, which is an all you care to enjoy. That means it's not a buffet. They bring the food to you, and we've always liked that. This is the second time that we've been there, but we like the food there, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very good.
Actually, the salad is, all the vegetables are grown inside Living with the Land. So, you want to talk about what do they call it?
Farm to
Farm
table.
to table. That's farm to table right there. They had turkey. It's home style. They had a steak charcuterie, a steak with I want to say charcuterie,
chimichurri.
but with chimichurri. They had mashed potatoes. They had roasted vegetables, which I thought were fantastic. They had
zucchini and yellow squash.
Peppers from me. They had string beans. It's a great meal. Soft drinks are included.
Cornbread, mac and cheese. I mean, it's a very filling meal.
Yep.
There's kind of something for everyone. And then dessert is strawberry shortcake. And then they also brought some little, I think, chocolate mousse pots
for the kids. They're kind of cupcakes with Mickey Mouse white chocolate that's on top.
But it's a character meal. So the characters come around and the kids were excited to have their pictures taken. So it was nice.
Yeah, it was. Trying to think what do we do after that? Not much, right? I think we went over and we did Figment.
That's right.
And then we went to the back over in France and we did Ratatouille. And then it was raining. And then we decided that we wanted to go see Impressions de France.
Yes.
Which is their movie. It's a 20-minute movie. They only do it first thing in the morning and at the end of the day, because in between they do a sing-along.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast sing-along, which isn't our thing. But we always loved Impressions de France. We think that is it is the best film that they have in the countries in EPCOT. I think China's a close second, and followed by Canada.
I used to like Norway.
I love Norway. I used to love the Norway one. Yep, they took that out. Yeah, as you said, when they put in the Frozen ride. Then we went back to Riviera, and we watched America lose. We watched the soccer game.
We did.
And then they delayed the fireworks at EPCOT. They typically start at 9, but because of the weather, they started at 9:20. So I went out onto the balcony, watched the fireworks, and that was pretty much.
And we got dinner from Primo Piatto.
Yep.
And that was it.
That was Monday, day 2. Tuesday, we
had breakfast in the room because
we
had brought
breakfast
some
in the
cinnamon
room.
rolls with us.
We had breakfast. We had coffee. We kind of chilled, sat out
on the balcony.
checked out. We always like to check out as late as possible. We just like to enjoy our room as long as we can. So we checked out. They got all the bags, and we headed over to Hollywood Studios because that's where we're meeting our family. And you and I did formerly the Rock and Roller Coaster by Aerosmith, but they recently rethemed it.
Yes, to the Muppets. I am a Muppet fan.
I was a Muppet fan. I've grown out of it. I still think they're funny. I do get a lot of chuckles out of the Muppets, but Susie's still deeply into the Muppets, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know that I would say I'm deeply into them. Like, I'm not going to go see a movie in the theater.
You cackle like a 7-year-old when you see
like a
Beaker.
little kid when I see the Muppets. I still think Fozzie's dad jokes are funny.
What was it? When did he do the Waka Waka? Was it for water or something?
No, walking.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was real stupid, wasn't it?
Dumb.
It was real dumb. But it's the same ride track. They rethemed it a little bit. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. And honestly, I mean, as much as I like Aerosmith, they really only did a few songs. So it was nice having some different songs. We had song 2 by Blur, which I thought was a great choice. Did you like the music?
I don't particularly care for that song, but what they were playing in Q, quite a bit of it I did like. So so we did that, and then we met the family, and we did Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. And then you and I were starving because we were having dinner at 5:05. So we went over to Baseline
Tap
House. We got the pretzel and the California charcuterie board. Both were fantastic. The pretzel comes with cheese and a nice spicy mustard. The charcuterie was fantastic. We love this place. This is a good, when it's hot, get inside, grab a couple. They had some flatbread pizza, but get yourself a couple of small plates and a beer or
they've got
lemonade.
a great beer list, but it was so hot. They have a strawberry lemonade that was really good. It's very refreshing. I don't really like to drink in the middle of the day when it's that hot out because I know it's going to dehydrate me, and it was the last thing I needed.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. Then we met my cousin and his daughter, because they kind of separated. Some were going to do Rise of the Resistance. They were goofing around in gift shops, so I texted them and said that Kristen and I were going to go do one of our favorite attractions, Toy Story Midway Mania. And he said he'll meet us over there. So we both did Toy Story. And then
I got my butt whooped.
You got your butt whooped by a 8-year-old. Now, my cousin and I, we were going to do, because the rest of the family didn't want to do Rock and Roller Coaster, we were going to do what they call a single rider, where you don't sit as a family. So the two of us, we could get split up. But if there's a party of 3, they'll fill one person in to make it a party of 4 so that they're filling up every seat. That's how single rider works. We were not able to get on the line, did not move. And we looked at our watch and we had 5 minutes to our reservation. We said, there's no way we're getting on this ride within even the next half hour. That line just was not moving. So
that's nuts.
We abandoned ship, headed over to Hollywood and Vine, which is a character buffet. What is it? The Fab? Not the Fab Five, because it was Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Pluto. So they had those 4 characters. Food there, I think, is really good. Again, they had a nice carving station. They had a steak with chimichurri.
They had ham, which was a little dry. I didn't have it, but
what did you have that you enjoyed?
Honestly, the Caesar salad was really good. I had some salmon that was good.
I had a chicken noodle soup, because when you're in Florida and it's 95 degrees in July, what do you get? You get chicken noodle soup. They have potato barrels, and I got that with every piece of beef that I got at the carving station. There's nothing better than steak with chimichurri sauce and potato barrels. So good.
They also had, and they have this at their breakfast buffet as well. It's cornbread with like a sweet and spicy fried chicken, and it's phenomenal.
Okay.
So I had a couple of those. some mashed potatoes. They had a mushroom risotto that I wasn't crazy about, which surprised me because it's usually one of my favorite things. But I think they used barley or something instead of regular rice, and it just had a weird texture to it. They had a salmon that was pretty good, had like a sweet chili sauce on it. They had some kind of a glazed tofu that your cousin recommended.
Yeah.
I had a piece of that, and that was actually really good. So they did have several plant-based options. They had some, chicken fingers and stuff like that in the kids section, mac and cheese. They actually had two kinds of mac and cheese. They had a plain, and they had one that had shrimp and bacon in it.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, because
that's a little too rich.
Your
for
cousin's daughter said she actually liked that one better than the plain one. But yeah, I mean, they had a bunch of different salads. They actually had a panzanella. They had a strawberry salad.
And the main reason we went there was because we got the 40% off annual pass holder discount. Right. Because for what you get, it's expensive. I mean, I get my money's worth for a buffet, but
I don't usually.
A lot of people don't. It's expensive. I mean, if you're going to pay full price, just go to Hollywood Brown Derby or even 50s Primetime Cafe. There's better options at Hollywood Studios. But the kids like the character meals.
Yeah.
And with the 40% discount, I think it was worth it. But if you're going to pay full price out of pocket, million different places, hit me up on social media and I'll lead you the way. I'll tell you where to go.
Yeah. They do have soft serve ice cream for dessert though.
And I'm not a sweets guy, but I did that with the caramel sauce, which was good.
Oh, I didn't know you had caramel sauce.
Yeah, I did caramel because
Wow.
that's what my cousin Gary did. So
okay.
the caramel sauce, it was good.
They had, they had some cookies. They had peach cobbler. They had actually a strawberry tres leches cake that was really good. They had a strawberry lemon cupcake that was good. So some decent options. Again, I don't know that I would go if it were just the two of us. We definitely wouldn't go full price.
No, absolutely not. Because the last time we went there was last summer when we went. And I think it was the same time. It was July because they were doing that July special and we went there for breakfast.
Right.
And, for $30, $35, maybe it's worth it. But $55, $60, no. Better options. It was cheaper to eat at the Cake Bake Shop.
Yeah, that's true.
For all intents and purposes. So that's pretty much it. We farted around at one of the gift shops for a little bit before saying our goodbyes to the family. We jumped on the Skyliner, headed back to Riviera to buy stuff that we didn't need.
As we always do.
I have a huge walk-in closet, and I'd say 90% of that now is Riviera merchandise. And then that was about it. We headed home. We headed home. Got back at a decent hour. Said hi to Rhodey, who missed us terribly, and that was about it. Before I wrap it up, do you have anything else you want to add?
I would just say that, I think a lot of people think of Riviera as an EPCOT resort, which it definitely is. But the proximity to the studios is really simple with the Skyliner. And honestly, the bus to Magic Kingdom
was short, wasn't
easy.
It? Mm-hmm.
So don't hesitate if you're curious about staying at the Riviera. Don't hesitate because it's really a phenomenal option, especially if you want something that skews a little bit quieter and maybe a little more adult.
With great restaurants.
It feels different than any of the other properties.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Highly recommend.
Yep. I'll second that. I'm not even going to. That was a perfect close, Susie. Talking about our beloved Riviera. I cannot add anything to that. So I'll close this up. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Travel MNK. Our YouTube is Travel with Mike and Kristen. All of our social media links will be in the show notes. And join our Facebook group, Travel with Mike and Kristen. For my co-host, Kristen, I'm Mike. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again next week.
Safe travels.